What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another prolonged episode of Round the Track with the Riders NASCAR podcast, featuring myself, SterlingRider, and Duke Rider.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We have been away for a while, but life happens. We've had to work around some hiccups and some life issues here and there. So we're back, and it will be see another 3 weeks before we get another one. So unless we're able to slip one in next week, which we may be able to, and kind of tie up the round of 12, and then probably cut one after the round of 8, and then one, of course, after the championship. And then, of course, um, they're going to get a special one after the court case
Yes.
between 2311 and NASCAR is. Uh, we might do two. We might do one after the case gets in court and learn what we learn, and then do another one after the judge's decision comes down, or we may just wait and do one altogether. But um, yeah. So, and there's not really been a whole lot happen on the lawsuit side since we were last here, as far as the 2311 Front Row Motorsports versus NASCAR lawsuit. There's been motions and all kinds of stuff that lawyery, and I don't really understand it. I know they lost their injunction, their open teams, but we did talk about that last time. So um, there is news, though, however, on the Rick Ware Racing Legacy Motor Club lawsuit that was going on. That lawsuit has been settled,
Mm.
and the two teams came together. Apparently, sat down, talked it out, came up with the settlement, and Legacy Motor Club will be getting one of Rick Ware Racing's charters in 2027. Um, what that means for RFK Racing and the 60 car, because they are in essence renting the extra Rickware Racing charter that is going to go over to Legacy Motor Club. Uh, we don't know. That may be something that comes out with the 2311 Front Row Motorsports versus NASCAR lawsuit situation. So we don't know. There may not even be charters. The judge said, hey, there may not even charters may not even exist when we're all said and done. So um, we'll see. But at least that one has been um, answered. As far as the sale of Rickware Racing, I have not seen a thing about how not having two charters is going to affect that sale. So because the guy that was the guy or the group or whatever it was that was buying Rickware Racing was paying an astronomical, I'll get it out in a minute, amount of money for two charters. Well, he's only going to get one charter now. So how that plays out, I don't know. That's that I have not seen. I don't know if you've seen anything. I have not seen a single person even mention that whole sale. So um, anyway, what other news we got?
Well, I'll start with what literally came out when the last episode was posted, and that is the news of the Haas factory team. The fact is
Oh
that
yeah.
they are switching back to Chevrolet in 2026. So, which would lead me to the next thing, which is where it's kind of in the air what it may be and what when it's going to be revealed. But Chevrolet is introducing their new body style of car, no longer going to be the Camaro after 25. So, that's some
Which
interesting
what
news.
I read said it could be as early as this weekend
Yes, I was going to throw
at the
that out.
Roval.
Could be at the Roval. Last I saw, though, there were a couple things that may have kept that off. Um, but who knows? It may have just been people throwing stupid things out there. So who knows? Um,
Well, I haven't seen a press conference announcement yet, and that's usually out, 4 or 5 days in advance, and tomorrow starts race weekend. So,
Right.
uh,
So that is interesting news as well. So give me a second here. I've got my Twitter up because that's how we get 90%.
right. Well, let's talk about crew chief silly season.
Oh yes,
There's
that's
moves this week on the crew chief side. Randall Burdett is moving away from 2311. Hello, Richard Childress Racing and Kyle Busch, and he's moving over to Trackhouse for Connor Zillage.
mm-hmm.
Um, Interesting move. Randall's won with Tyler Reddick. He's won with Kyle Busch. It's been a while. Kind of needs a fresh start. So this could be very good for Kyle Busch and Randall Burdett. I cannot remember the name of the individual that is crew chiefing for Kyle Busch for the rest of the year, because that basically what they did was to get Kyle and his new crew chief a head start. Is they went ahead and moved Randall Burdett out of the crew chief position. He's still at RCR for the remainder of the year, but he's not crew chiefing. They moved. His name's Andy something, and he's the one that's been crew chiefing the 33 car, the few races that's been on the track this year. So, and then I'm not going to call it surprising, because, you know, I'm surprised it took this long to get this guy back atop a pit box. Is Rodney Childers going to Junior Motorsports to crew chief that one car with Carson Kvapil and Connor Zillage sharing that ride? Dale Jr. said on his podcast this week that there was just some financial backing that Carson wasn't able to that he just didn't have for this year. So, but Dale Jr. did say he's trying to get him in for the races that Zillage will be driving. Dale Jr. is trying to get him in another car, whether it's one of his or another team's car, so that Carson can, if he wins a race, and he's like with Rodney, he's most likely going to win. He's got the potential to win multiple races. If he wins the race, he wants him to be able to compete for the for the championship in the playoffs, because he's going to be driving all of the playoff races for Junior Motorsports if there's a playoffs.
Right.
So I just teed you up for that one.
Yes, you did.
What you got on that one?
So we've talked about how we hate, the current format for the championship and the playoffs and all that baloney. There's recently been, according to some of the other NASCAR people that are way above us, there's apparently starting to be a push for that 36 race format, which is great news for us fans. That gives us some hope again and a little light. Because we've talked about it multiple times. The playoffs right now, it's literally just a wild card. If you can survive to the championship four, you could literally just go out and win the championship. And we've seen multiple drivers do that. Logano being probably number one with that, which sucks. But we've seen, especially if you look at, if you don't follow them, Winston Cup Series race format on Twitter, the 36-point playoffs is going to, crown a real champion that deserves it. And you are also, with the way this style racing of NASCAR is today, you're going to have, it's going to come down to that final race for sure. You already look, anyone in the top 8, I believe, could still win the championship with what many races are left. And that's still 5 races. So it's good that we're seeing a push for the 36 race format. Thank you, Mark Martin, Dale Jr., some of the current drivers, for kind of throwing that out there when people started asking you. So there's hope again.
Yeah, for sure. And they talked about, Jeff Gluck and Dale Jr. both talked about this, because they're both on the committee that's talking about this with NASCAR. They're not making the decision, but they're putting, giving their input. And both of them said, back at the beginning of the year, it was like it was Mark Martin and nobody else. That they first had their meeting right before Daytona in Daytona at the NASCAR offices, right? Everybody was there physically, or they were either there on Zoom or whatever. So Mark Martin was pretty much the only one pushing for the 36. And when they had their last meeting this past week, both of Jeff Gluck and Dale Jr. said that there was a whole lot more people that were pushing for the 36 race format. But unfortunately, and this hurts me to say this, I don't think that's what they're going to do. They're so hard set on trying to win that casual fan that they think that a playoffs is going to work. If you look at the TV ratings since the playoffs have begun, they're terrible. NASCAR Cup is almost down to Xfinity numbers. Xfinity numbers are way up, being on the CW. Okay, we've said this probably every podcast that Xfinity racing is the most exciting race of the weekend. It's the best racing of the weekend. The cars are the best cars of the weekend, and their ratings are going up on the CW, whereas Cup is coming down. So if they do go to a 36 race playoff, or not playoff, but a 36 race full season championship, is it going to mean an instant change? Absolutely not.
No.
Daytona is always very, 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 it's always brings in a lot of viewers, a lot of fans. But then after that, there's usually a steady fall off throughout the year. The playoff experiment has failed. This is a 22-year experiment that just hasn't worked, right?
Right.
Maybe 2004, 2005, it was a big deal because it was new, and but 2014, 2015. If you want to really think about it, you go back to 2015 when Kyle Busch missed 11 races and won the championship.
Yep.
That was kind of the first nail in this coffin. It was like, okay, look, you can miss 11 races and still win a championship. That's not a legitimate champion, right? And then Joey Logano winning last year with a average finish of, he would have been 14th in points when all was said and done. Even with the point system the way it is today, if there wasn't the resets and the playoffs and stuff like that, he would have been 14 points. That was the final nail in this coffin. And, we've been told for so many years that our opinions, as fans, that our opinions don't matter. We don't know what we're talking about. We don't know anything. And then we were told, Dale Jr. even said it. He said, look, if you're going to get your point across to NASCAR, vote with your remote.
Right.
And a lot of fans have shown that they're going to vote with their remote. And they come up with all kinds of excuses. Well, it's football season. This is on, that's on, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? NASCAR has been racing on Sunday for decades. Guess what's been going on those same Sundays? Football, baseball, basketball, golf, the Olympics. I've seen a NASCAR race on the same day as the Olympics. Okay. So, and back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we're drawing 10, 11, 12 million people. And then for a race like Daytona, it could have been up to as many as 20 million people, which are Super Bowl numbers when you think about it, right?
Right.
So is this going to be a fix? The fix? No, there's a lot of other changes that need to be made. But it's kind of like Dale Jr. said on his podcast this week. Why not? What do they have to lose to go to that 36 race format? But what everybody seems to think it's going to be is we're going to have three races in the first round, 3 races in the second round, 4 races in the final round, and there's going to be 6 drivers in the final round. So that seems to be the format that NASCAR internally seems to be talking about. there's a lot of people that are willing to settle. They're like, okay, at least it's not a one race thing. We'll take it. Me personally, it's still not good enough for me. I don't want a 10 race chase. I don't want a 3-3-4 format. I don't want a 3-3-3-1 format. I want a 36 race full season championship format. I want the playoffs to be the entire season. What about you?
No, I'd much rather have the full season. The 3-3-4 whatever with 6 drivers, that would be better than what we're running now. At least then whoever that final 6 has a bit of a, it's going to seem a little bit better, but still you're still probably going to get somebody that would capitalize on somebody else being above the cut line and then gets penalized and then goes out and just somehow wins the whole thing. I know it's more than one race, yes, so it's going to be a little bit harder, but it's also championship races. Most of the teams from those 6 drivers are going to bring the best of the best equipment every single week for those. And depending on the tracks, who knows what type of wildness could happen as well, wreck-wise anyway. So I still think it would kind of crown not a thick sliced piece of bologna, but it's still a piece of bologna kind of championship in my opinion. So
right? No matter how you cut it, it's still bologna.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm all for the 36 race format. Like I said, I keep up with the Winston Cup standings, Twitter page, X page, whatever you want to call it, and I'm intrigued. I'm paying more attention to that than the actual playoff standings, just because, especially with how close the Winston Cup standings are right now, with so much going on. So I still want that 36 race format. I officially got into NASCAR in 2016, so they had pretty much had the playoffs for a while, and it was like, I mean, I didn't like it and dislike it at the time when I first got in, but as many years have gone past, it's horrible in my opinion. So 36 race format, you're gonna keep me, even though I came in during the playoff format time, because from the things I've seen, what I've weighed, and going back and just watching older races now that that's kind of becoming more popular as well. I like watching that style because it's a lot more pushed in my opinion. So I'm going to throw out there because go ahead.
The kicker to that though is you are the generation that NASCAR says wants the playoff format. You're that younger generation. You're that 18 to 36, 18 to 35 age group that NASCAR is saying they want the playoffs. But then we've got you and there's many, many others. All you got to do is go to social media and you'll find them that are in your generation, your age group, that they're looking at, that's saying, no, we didn't grow up with the 36 race format, but we want a legitimate champion. We are the only legitimate motorsports in the world that does a playoff. Everybody else has a full season championship. That's what we want. That's what's going to make us tune in every week. And the funny part to me is there's a lot of people that's like, well, everybody's going to be mad if it's wrapped up with 3 races left to go in the season, right? That has never happened. It's always been at least, and I think it's only happened 6 times where there's 2 races to go in the season, right? And then a lot of times, yes, the driver only has to start the final race to be the champion. I get that. But the people that are saying that everybody's going to complain are the people that want the playoffs. Because the people because people like you and me, they're like, we're not going to complain about that. If there's 5 races to go and they're 1,500 points ahead, okay, I don't care. Let's celebrate that dominant.
Yeah.
Because that means they were a Connor Zillage that was just going out there and beating the snot out of everybody every week.
Connor
finishing
Zillage
in the top 2 every year.
or Corey Heim,
Yeah,
pretty
finishing
much.
in the top 2, 15 races straight.
Yeah, yeah. So,
celebrate that.
and
So anyway, sorry to mean.
No, you're good. But to throw it in, because we were talking about the committee and then all sorts of thing. I still think this is baloney, but I saw a clip from Door Bumper Clear between Freddie Kraft and Jeff Burton. Jeff Burton is saying that there are TV officials sitting in on this committee, yes, but they're not the ones persuading these decisions. Now, in my opinion, that's still a piece of baloney because the TV people are going to want the higher ratings, and they're going to think of, since this sport, and this sport, which baseball, football, basketball, whatever, hockey, have the playoffs, NASCAR would have almost the same or outdo those viewerships because of the playoff format. Obviously, it's not, because as you see viewerships falling, and we've talked about that. But do you really think what Jeff Burton said is true, is that TV's just sitting there to listen and not put in input? Or do you think Freddie Kraft is right and TV's putting the biggest influence on it?
I would say TV's putting the biggest influence, because now TV may not be going to NASCAR and saying, and this is what Dale Jr. said, and I definitely agree with what he said. TV is not going to NASCAR saying this is what we want. But NASCAR is going to TV and saying, okay, this is what we're looking at. How do you feel about it? Because TV is the one writing the checks. It used to be the fans at the track that were writing the checks. Okay? The fan at the merchandise table was writing the checks. The fan, because TV was all over the place back in the 90s. And I don't want to hear this, we can't find the races because we're on 5 different channels. Okay, back in the 90s, we were on like 20 different channels. You had TNN, TBS, TNT, ESPN, ABC, CBS. We're like, and then there's even other channels that I can't even remember that we were on, right?
Right.
So you were on a different network every week. CBS had Daytona, ESPN may have the next race, and then TNN the next race, and then TNT the next race. I mean, it was all over the place. So now TV's the ones writing the checks. So whether they can sit back and say, no, we don't want to have input, but NASCAR is still going to go to them and say, this is what we're thinking about. How do you feel about it? And if if TV is like, well, we really, if that's what you want to do, fine, but we really don't like it, NASCAR is going to go back and be like, okay, TV said no. So I agree with Jeff Burton, maybe that TV is not going in and saying this is what we want, but NASCAR is taking this is what we're thinking to them, and they're like, we really don't like that.
Okay. No, I could see that makes sense.
At least that, listening to Dale Jr. and other people like Freddie Kraft, that's kind of what I believe is going on, is, and it could be NASCAR goes to the option to the table with TV and say, okay, look, we've got this 3-3-4 format, the 10 race chase format, and the 36 race format. Which one would you prefer?
And
TV, NBC being at the end, they're going to be like, well, we at least want the 10 or the 3-3-4, right?
Right.
Okay, Fox is going to be like, we really don't care because we can. Well, Fox don't. You can watch their truck race and know that they don't care. So yeah. I could just say Fox is going to say we don't care. Okay, Amazon, TNT, they're going to be like, well, we've got the mid-season bracket challenge, so that's what we're going to promote. So NBC is going to have the pick of, well, we don't want 36. 10 is okay, but we prefer the 3-3-4. Well, NASCAR is going to go with the 3-3-4, even though TV left it up to NASCAR. They just said this is what we prefer.
Yep. Yeah. So.
But my question about this committee is, I know there's media members, right? Because we've got Jeff Gluck, Bob Pockrass, or at least I think Bob's on it, but I know Jeff Gluck's on it. Okay. Dale Jr.'s on it. So we've got media members, we've got former drivers. Why didn't NASCAR ask some fans to come be on this?
That's a great question. You think, but I would say that just goes to show you why they're looking for that casual fan and not the hardcore, not trying to keep their hardcore fans, because they're not really looking for the fans' view of things. And that's a big problem, in my opinion, for sure. There's a lot that has happened in the past 15 years, pretty much when this whole playoff stuff started, that not having a fan's input is made NASCAR go downhill so much, is because you're not getting a fan's input on the race cars. You're not getting fans' input on the championship format. You're not getting the input on, the track racing, how's the tracks are, when the good seasons of racing is, and, the styles of racing. I feel like if they did do that, because it would be a really good idea, it's kind of dumb that they don't, a lot of things would start slowly getting what I would say fixed, because I think they're just all problems. And we would get the modern day NASCAR, but we would also have what NASCAR's roots originally were. And that's what NASCAR needs to do, is go back to its roots. Because that's what's going to save them the most.
And that's what's going to bring the hardcore fan that's left back.
Right.
That's what's going to bring in new and keep new fans. So let me ask you this. We were told if we don't, we've been told many times our opinion doesn't matter. If we don't like it, don't watch, right? Okay. So now we're not watching because the ratings are low. Kansas, especially the fall race, is usually a sellout. It's usually one of the biggest races of the year as far as like attendance. Okay, this time now I understand that the Chiefs were playing just down the street, so that probably pulled some fans away, right?
Yeah.
I get that, but Kansas didn't have a very big crowd, and the ratings are terrible. So fans are they're voting. I mean, we weren't invited into the committee, but we're voting. We're voting with our remotes, and we're voting with the fact that we are not showing up at the racetrack.
Yep.
So the question is, will NASCAR listen?
I'm going to say kinda, but they're not going to listen to the fans exactly. They're going to listen to those on the committee that are voicing for the fans, such as Dale Jr. and Mark Martin and Jeff Gluck, if we can persuade him to get towards our side.
Well, on the Teardown this week, he really said, he's like, I think I'm leaning to the 36 race. He's like, if you'd asked me that back in February, I'd have said, no way, no how. He's like, but I think I'm kind of leaning that way now.
See?
So we kind of do have Jeff.
Listen to the fans. We're already getting some big names already either started on our side or is now starting to switch to our side. NASCAR needs to listen to the fans.
Sure.
Yeah. So, kind of moving on. I want to stay kind of on this topic, but not at the same. Not really. I don't know if you saw the poll Jeff Gluck put on Twitter. But he put on a poll that said, what does NASCAR need to focus on most? And your options were add more horsepower to the car, completely redo the car, the championship, fix the championship format, or have Amazon Prime take over the whole season.
Yeah. Did you see what most people's answers were?
Most people, I believe, if I remember when I voted, of course, I voted pretty early. But what I saw immediately was either add more horsepower. I think it was a tie between more horsepower and the championship format. So
Well, go read the comments because there's a whole lot of write-in votes for all the above.
yo, yeah, that's what I would say.
There's a
I
whole lot of write-in votes.
I didn't
There's a whole lot of write-in votes for all the above.
I didn't even think about tweeting, being like, can we do all of them? I didn't even think about that. So yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I just want to.
It's crazy the number of votes that's all the above on that write-in votes. I mean,
Yep.
if there was a legitimate write-in campaign, Jeff Gluck just did it.
Yeah, for real. That is true. So moving.
And on that note,
Okay.
did you know that NASCAR is talking about going back up to 750 horsepower next year?
Yes, I've seen that rumor around. But let me bounce on that.
Well, Dale Jr. said it, so it must be true.
Well, okay, that would make sense. I didn't see that part, but let me bounce off of that because I've seen. I think it was a quote from Keselowski about that. Is that they did it, but like they did a test session of that a while backish, and actually I think it was Kevin Harvick that may have said it actually, and if the car felt absolutely no different, if they want to add horsepower, they need to add horsepower. So just gonna throw that in there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I don't think 750 is enough.
No,
But there's also talk about adding more practice time, especially to the truck and Xfinity series. But I would hope this would carry over to the Cup series too, because more practice time is obviously going to give the drivers more of an opportunity to figure out, because if you add more horsepower, it's going to add some sort of what they need to do is they need to add enough horsepower to get to where they're having to slow down to go into the corner. They're having to slow down in the center of the quarter, pick the throttle back up off the corner, but also with the opportunity to where if we pick up the throttle too fast, we're going to spin the rear tires, and that's going to cause us tire wear.
You're basically not to cut you off, but you're basically talking about the Gen 4. This is pretty much the Gen 4, so basically modernizing how the Gen 4 reacted, because I would know the 87s do it too, styles, but you have to lift on Daytona going into the corner or you're going to slide up and smack the wall hard.
Yeah, that's the way it used to be. I mean, they had to... they used to have to let off. I mean, handling, especially at Daytona, was a big deal. Mm-hmm. If your car was loose, you were going to spin out. If your car was tight, you were going to push up, like you were just talking about. So you were going to have to lift. But then when you got back on the throttle, there was also that opportunity of tire spin.
Yep.
And the reason I bring up the practice with that is because in order for the drivers to understand how that works, there's going to have to be more than 20 minutes of practice.
Absolutely.
Because you're in 20 minutes, you cannot burn the tires off coming up off the corner, spinning the tires in 20 minutes.
Because there's, to be honest, there's only probably 3 drivers I can think of that would be able to adjust in that 20 minutes. Everyone else would not figure it out yet. It would take them much longer.
Yeah.
And that's just because they had been racing since that high horsepower tire spinning, going onto the throttle in the corner, lifting, all that. Because that's kind of the era they started in.
Right.
So.
And if you want tire wear, if you want passing, right, you got to wear the tires out. The best way to wear the tires isn't Goodyear bringing the super, bringing a Hot Wheels tire to the track that wears out in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
The trick to it is put horsepower in the cars so that the drivers have to be like, well, if I hit the gas at this mark in the corner, I'm going to spin my tires. But if I hit the gas at this mark, I'm going to be okay coming up off the corner.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to put horsepower and tire wear is going to put the car back in the driver's hands.
Absolutely. And that would be great. I'll move on to not a big chunk of news on this, but a little bit of a few driver updates just to throw them in there. Sammy Smith has re-signed with Junior for 2026. The other two's more new, like actual news. So according to the Daily Downforce, I thought it was Downforce. Apparently it's Fords. Whoops. Roger.
They're two different. They're one's a parody account, but they do somehow seem to get their hands on some news.
Yeah, I would agree. But is apparently expected to have Raja Caruth join Junior Motorsports in 26 for a part-time O'Reilly's schedule, while maintaining his full-time Spire Motorsports 71 truck. Thoughts on that?
I think that's a good move for both of them. Obviously, I would think he would bring the HendrickCars.com sponsorship with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely going to help. And Junior on his podcast, he was talking about part of the reason that Carson Quapple's not full time is just finances. It's not that he doesn't want him to be. It's just, there's not the money there for him to do full time. So Raja bringing some money over to the team would definitely work. Definitely help. It would give Raja some experience before that full time Xfinity Series season, but also is what's going to happen with Corey Day, because it's been announced for him so far. He also has that HendrickMotorsports.com sponsorship. So is he going to stay, like maybe spend some more time in trucks next year? Is he going to be in the 17 car more next year? I don't know what Hendrick's plans are as far as running that 17 car next year.
Right.
Because he will be, he'll be eligible age-wise to run the full season next year. So, I don't know. Raja signing with Dale Jr. actually kind of leaves more questions than it does answers, as far as not for Raja, but for other drivers.
Right. Yep.
Especially in the Xfinity Series. So, yeah, I mean, good for him. I mean, we've talked about Raja since beginning of last year, when he really kind of got in the Truck Series, started making a mark for himself. He won at Las Vegas, I believe, last year.
Yep.
And we've been talking about him ever since. And I mean, he's a heck of a driver. He's struggled a lot this year. I think that's more team than it is driver.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're in the junior stable, you're on Rick Hendrick's radar.
Right.
Even though Hendrick Motorsports does run that 17 car from time to time, if you are a junior motorsports driver, Rick Hendrick is watching you. So, and we know Rick's been watching Raja for several years now. That's why that HendricksCars.com is his sponsor. So, right. Good for him. Good for junior motorsports. This just kind of makes you wonder. We talked about it last year. There was the rumor of Raja going in that 48 car, right?
Yep.
Yep. Next year is a contract year for Alex Bowman, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe next year is a contract year for Alex Bowman.
I believe it is.
So is this a test run for Raja in the Hendrick system?
It's very possible. Very, very possible. So, I mean, I will throw out there, we haven't gotten there yet, but he did run the 17 Hendrick cars Xfinity car at Kansas, and from most of what I saw, he did pretty good. So it was just kind of that final.
He struggled, but you got to think this is what his second start in the Xfinity Series.
It's his third start in the Xfinity Series.
His other
he doesn't
have a whole lot of experience.
Right, his other two were in the 32 car. So
Oh, yeah. So
yeah,
nothing against Jordan Addison, but that's not Hendrick equipment.
yeah, not even close. But yeah, so that's good for Raja. As you said, does raise quite a few questions with others because of it being junior motorsports. There's a lot with that team and sorts. The other is, and this probably died off pretty quickly. Who knows? Was there had been apparently discussions with the McAnally Hilgerman racing team. It's a truck team, and Haley Deegan with a possible truck series return for Haley. Thoughts?
I haven't seen anything on it in a while, but if that is true, obviously stuff like that they're going to kind of keep close to the vest,
Right.
so to speak, and stuff like that's not going to get out. If so, again, good for both teams. It's a good decision on Haley's part. It's a good decision on McAnally's part. They were teamed together. They won 3 races, I believe, in the old K&N series before it became the ARCA West series together. So why not? Yeah, I think that's good for both of them.
Yeah,
And it would be exciting to see Haley back.
I would definitely agree. Yeah. I mean, she
Definitely didn't do good in IndyCar next.
No, I mean there was almost no news about her at all while she was in IndyCar next. But hopefully something happens there. Get her foot back into NASCAR. I think her biggest thing is just she needs more time in the car and a good, solid team. And,
and I know everybody's going to say, well, she was with a championship team when she was with ThorSport, right?
Right.
Okay. You know as well as I do, they were not giving her the best equipment.
No, not even close.
They were giving Ty Majeski and Matt Kraft the best equipment. They were not giving her and Ben Rhodes the best equipment. And you could tell by the way that Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski were running up front every week, right?
Yep.
They were not giving her. I think they were giving her the leftovers.
Yep.
So if she goes to Hilgerman, McAnally Hilgerman, they better put Daniel Hemrick quality trucks underneath her. The same trucks that Hemrick is driving this year, competitive every week. Those are the kind of trucks she needs to be in. And then I believe she can actually compete.
Right. Yeah, I would agree. Yep, that's that. Gonna set back to Raja real quick. I saw my other post on Twitter about it. It's expected he will drive half of the season schedule, and the car number is uncertain, but it's expected to be the 88. So, of course, we know that who knows what the number could be. That is one of the numbers that is possible, but I know this much: it won't be the 7 and it won't be the 8, and I don't think it'll be the 1. So we're down to the 9 and the 88 pretty much. So we can figure it out from there.
And the 9's Junior's All-Star car. So
yeah, so
that's the Daniels. Well, I don't know about Daniel. I don't think we know anything about Daniel Suarez come to mention. I think there was at one point talk of him being in that 9 car. But Dale Jr. did say on his podcast that there are some things coming down the pipeline that he can't talk about yet. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yep.
How that works out. But the other interesting news when you talk about drivers, I don't know if you saw this or not, but if you remember back at the beginning of this year, end of last year, Corey LaJoie said he did not want to run a truck team.
Yep.
And then he's run way more truck races this year than he's run anything else, right?
Yep.
So he come out, it was either last week or the week before, it said he's not looking for a full-time truck ride. He does not want a full-time truck ride. He wants to be back in the Cup Series. I don't know. I think he keeps shooting himself in the foot.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's done decently in the Truck Series. I think I'd say better than decent, just because I feel like he's not good at stage 1, stage 2, it's stage 3, and he's 9 times out of 10 I've seen he's been top 10 at the end of the race. So I really think he should stop putting his arrow in his foot and take a full-time Truck Series team, because I think he would do really good. I just don't think I don't know. I don't know his thought process on that, and it makes no sense to me. But I mean, we see how he's running in trucks now versus how he was running in Cup in the past. Wouldn't you want the better running than you would the other? I understand Cup's top series, but I mean, we've talked about multiple times. We know people that have built their careers in just trucks or Xfinity and never touched a Cup car, except maybe once or twice. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we got quite a few races to cover.
Well, actually, there's just a couple more things on news. Of course,
wow, you got more than I do.
One of them we can touch on as we go over races, because it's one of the something was done during the past few races, which we can touch on. We'll come back. Yeah, I'll just talk on that after race talk. So the last bit of news before the other piece, which we'll talk after the races, actually 2 things after the races, is the Colleague Racing has named Chris Wright as their new CEO. So, way up there, important person, you know.
Not that he wasn't before. I mean, he basically went over there and built Colleague Racing from the ground up.
Yeah, I mean,
he was president, now he's CEO. Okay. Basically, he's probably still in the same office. He just paycheck's a little bit bigger now.
Yeah. But congrats to him.
I'm sure the Dodge money is helping that paycheck get better.
100%. I'm still excited to see that. Still waiting on the truck to be put into iRacing. I wonder if it's. We'll get to that later. I got a question about those trucks. Last bit of news. I'm sorry. There's one more thing. I keep scrolling on TikTok and finding more things, but I know this is the last thing. That actually kind of involves us, sadly. But if you watch NASCAR on YouTube TV, when it's on Fox/NBC, obviously, or TNT, obviously Prime is Prime only. This was 2 days ago, so this is coming up fast. I believe it's this coming Tuesday. YouTube TV's contract ends with NBC.
That was this past Tuesday. That was on the 30th of September. They did sign a short-term extension while they're working on a long-term solution.
Okay, so we might be okay.
As of right now, of course, we're only going to have it for another month because the last race is November 2nd. Today's October 2nd. So as of November 3rd, we're going to have ours turned off until racing season begins again. Just because the whole reason we've got YouTube TV or any sort of cable is for racing. I mean, yeah, we watch other stuff on it, but guess what? Everything else that we watch is on a streaming app.
Yeah.
So may not be able to watch it live, may have to wait till the next day to watch it, but you know what? Who cares? And that's why I love Prime so much. And I've mentioned this several times, and you can go and read some of the stuff I've mentioned on Twitter. I've mentioned that NASCAR needs to have a 24/7 streaming service that streams the races live. I'm willing to pay for it, y'all. I'll pay $20 a month for that because we won't be paying $90 a month for YouTube TV or Dish Network or DirecTV or whatever your cable is. We're not going to pay that. But I'll pay $25 a month for my NASCAR 24/7, and that's even in the off season. December, January, guess what? You're still getting my $25 a month because I'm going to watch old races. I'm going to watch, the content that you've got. I'm going to watch whatever you got on that channel. Like, that's what my TV will stay on pretty much 24/7 anyway.
Pretty much same.
If there's a 24/7 streaming channel.
One of my 3 TVs would stay on it pretty much. But, I mean, I just want to throw in there, think about how many times, just between us two, the NASCAR channel on Tubi, how many times have we just flicked to that just because we know there's going to be a good race on? Or just a race, period. Honestly, I mean,
at least once to twice a day.
Think if NASCAR took that and was like, we could actually make money off of this, and just made their own little NASCAR channel. Come on now. I feel like they'd make more money with that than they would any TV deal. And that's when the fans are literally giving them the checks.
Right. And the thing about that is, I think that would also bring back the older hardcore fans that quit watching.
Yeah.
Because and I know streaming is it's not new. It's probably 15 years old or older.
Yeah.
I know it's harder for the older generation to stream. But again, one app. I don't have to go to HBO Max. I don't have to go to the CW app. I don't have to go to a streaming channel, a streaming service like YouTube TV. I don't have to go to Tubi. I can just go pull up my Roku, pull up my NASCAR app, and boom, there it is.
Exactly.
And have it like if in case because you remember the old WWE Network, right? Where I can go and I can pick and choose what I want to watch. Yep. I want to watch a Raw from 1998. I can go and watch it. I want to watch, in NASCAR, I want to watch the Daytona 500, 1998. I want to watch Dale Earnhardt win again. I can go and choose that. I don't have to watch what's playing on the live channel. I can go and choose whatever I'm watching.
Exactly. So.
Except for when the races are live. No, when the races are live, that needs to be the only option.
Right.
When practice is going on the track, qualifying is going on the track, or the races are live, that needs to be my option. I open my NASCAR app, boom, there's the race right there live. Pre-show, post-show, everything.
Yep. Agreed. So anyways, now we can get into the races.
Yes, so let's rewind. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the races because, golly, people, this is weeks ago. You probably already watched them. If you haven't, they're on YouTube, on NASCAR's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Except for the Xfinity races, and they're on the CW app. Yeah. So, which I think is really cool. The CW, they don't do it live, but like the Xfinity races on Saturday, Sunday morning, it's available on the CW app for you to watch it if you weren't able to watch it live. So that's really cool.
Yep.
So let's see. We start Worldwide Technology Raceway in Madison, Illinois, also known AKA Gateway, AKA St. Louis.
Yeah.
So we get another Connor Zillage win. Surprise.
Nope.
So I'll tell you the surprise in this race, though. If you look at second, William Sawalich.
Yes.
Miserable season. Got him a second place.
Yeah, I was going to throw that in there. And so big props to William for getting through that. And the other notable mention, Corey Day finished 9th in the 17. So we talked about, as you said, we talked about him earlier. He's definitely getting a lot better. You got to think this is a kid that is transitioning from dirt to asphalt. So there's a whole lot more difference, and I've learned this the hard way through the simulator. A whole lot of difference between dirt and asphalt. So it's good to see him improving. And Corey Day seems like a cool kid. It seems like he's definitely got the talent. I mean, he's on Hendrick's radar. If you're on Hendrick's radar, you got talent. So it's good to see him getting up there for sure.
Give a shout out to Daniel Hemrick too with his return to the Xfinity Series in the 11 car with the top 10.
Yep, agreed.
But yeah, Connor Zilic has been on a roll, and Connor Zilic and Corey Heim in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series this year is what is, I believe, my opinion. If they do not win the championship, either one of them, because of the dominant years they've had this year, if they do not win the championship, I believe that I don't care what format NASCAR comes up with next year, if it is not the 36 full season, because you can't say 36 races because they don't have that in Truck Series, but if it's not a full season points championship next year, let one of these two not win the title this year. Mm-hmm. NASCAR will not have a choice, because you'll get to Daytona and nobody is going to be watching, because we know the two dominant cars of 2025 didn't win the championship because of a flat tire or somebody else's mistake.
Yep, exactly. So, yep. All right.
So then we got the Cup. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was going to do what you do, Cup race. It is a race.
Cup race. Denny Hamlin getting his 59th win of his career. One shy of tying Kevin Harvick. Boo. You can stay at 59, Denny. You're done.
Well, it would also put him...
Retire.
It would put him all-time top 10, as well. So...
Well, now, if he ties Kevin, I'm okay with that. If he gets to 61, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, there you go. That makes more sense.
Chase Briscoe has really turned it on in these playoffs.
Yes.
But, Penske didn't really have the dominant day that we thought they were going to have, did they? Ryan Blaney led a lot, but that was just, it wasn't what we were expecting at Gateway, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
But the Toyotas have been strong. They swept the first round of the playoffs. And matter of fact, not just the Toyotas, but Joe Gibbs Racing with 3 different drivers swept the first round of the playoffs. So
yeah.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal. It is indeed.
Any others you want to mention?
Hold on, let me pull it back up. My app. I don't think there were any. I mean, you hit Briscoe. Elliott staying consistent for pretty much just about every week and third. John Hunter Nemechek, he like we said, Legacy's figuring it out. He's finished 6th, so.
Nope. But now, one thing I do want to mention about that first round of the playoffs, William Byron, regular season champion, did not have a top 10 in that first round of the playoffs.
Hold up, I'm checking your facts. Not that I'm saying you're a liar. Oh, you're right. He had 2 top 15s, but no top 10. Dang.
I mean, he went in with a pretty sizable advantage.
Yeah.
So, that's definitely what helped him out.
And actually, looking after Kansas, he's still got a nice little cushion, but, I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Moving on. Bristol. Last Great Coliseum. Truck race.
Yeah, truck race.
Hey, guess what?
Yeah, and
I mean, he was up front, but he didn't win, so That's all I was gonna say.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he finished third. I mean, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much if he wasn't locked in with his win, he would have been locked in with this just by points. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how daggone big of a lead he had going into the playoffs with playoff points and stuff like that. So, and that's why I say it will be a shame with him and Connor Zillage with the leads that they have going to the championship four and not winning the championship.
Absolutely.
But Lane Riggs got him another one.
Yeah. Even after spinning out at the beginning of the race.
Right? Yeah, that was something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But and I'll tell you, this whole weekend, the truck race and the Cup race at Bristol was actually kind of fun to watch. Of course, the truck race was more fun to watch than the Cup race, but Bristol's getting back to where it's fun to watch it again.
Yes.
It's not everybody running up against the wall and that kind of terrible racing that we got for many, 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 many years after they reconfigured it.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Any major Corey LaJoie in the top 10 in 9th. Corey Day at 11th. Chandler Smith and Jake Garcia kind of really struggled at that race. So, yeah, I think that's really about all to talk about there. Corey Heim, again, being Corey Heim, I mean, finished top 2 in both stages, third in the race. I mean,
no surprise.
Even if he doesn't win, he points you to death.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Okay, moving on.
Xfinity race.
Yes.
Hey, guess what? Connor didn't win, but he still got a top 5.
Yeah. Very true. And to be honest, who won? I'm honestly not surprised.
Do you realize this car itself has not been out of the top 10 or out of the top 5, I'm sorry, since he hurt himself and had to miss Texas when Kyle Larson won in the car?
Yeah.
They have not finished out of the top 5 since then.
Yep.
Amazing. And everybody, I remember back at the beginning of the year, everybody's like, well, it's going to take him a while to figure the car out. All it did was he had to get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Just have a really, really sore back for a little bit. Of course, then he went out and broke his collarbone a couple races later.
Right.
So, but still, I mean, quick recovery back in the car. Oh, yeah. What you shouldn't be surprised, though, is he had fastest lap, so.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's not a shock at all.
No. But, yeah. Eric Almirola, veteran returning, gets the job done, as almost usual when he is in the 19 car.
Followed by 2 Haas cars.
Yep, I was about to say give it up for Creed and Mayer, second and third. So some good top 5s for those 2.
And then 3 Junior Motorsports cars.
No shocker there.
And then what stands out, and I'll tell you, he's having, for not being in the equipment that these other drivers are in, Harrison Burton, what he's doing in that AM Racing 25 car is absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah. That kid stepped up to the plate. They are
putting together some solid races.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, kid stepped up to the plate and said, I got this. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah. for sure. Oh, one of the driver things that we forgot to mention back in the news is that Nick Sanchez will be returning to the number 48 next year in the
I
Xfinity Series.
never saw that one, but
I
good.
think it was yesterday maybe that I saw it.
That might have been why. Good for him. I think he could use a good. I think he'll have a good Xfinity series or season next year for sure. So,
Also, then we got the Cup Series. Christopher Bell completes the sweep for, as I mentioned earlier, for JGR in the first round of the playoffs. Brad Keselowski was his best finish of the season in second.
yep.
Zane Smith with an awesome run. And it was, Zane Smith's run at Bristol was a legit run. It wasn't a pit strategy thing. It was a very, very fast race car and a very good driver.
Absolutely. And then Corey Heim finished 6th. Keep in mind, this is a cup race. And then Carson Hocevar finished 7th.
So we get to Bristol. It's the last round in the first round of the playoffs. The last race, the first round of the playoffs. We cannot not talk about Josh Berry.
Such a heartbreak.
Gets his first win this year, makes the playoffs, and finishes dead last in all 3 races of the first round.
Just such heartbreak too. I thought, the first 2 races, it sucked, and especially after such a good qualifying lap posted for Darlington, dude's right there, front row, kaput because of a wrong bump. Man, heartbreak. And then I thought of anything, especially after the first 2. I was like, all right, Bristol, he's bringing it. Short track, that is his go-to. He's going to bring his A game. He's going to win. He's going to throw these playoffs for a loop and win.
Right, and go and move on to the next round.
Yeah.
After finishing dead last in the first 2 races.
That was my full I figured he might struggle with Gateway and Darlington anyway. It sucks that he crashed out and did not, had DNFs. I thought Bristol was going to be that race that's just going to put him into the round of 12. Sadly, no. It hurts me. I'm a huge Josh Berry fan. I mean, most of y'all know this. Man.
But this is the first time that this has happened where a driver's made the playoffs and went out and finished dead last 3 races in a row. I mean, that is not necessarily a historical stat you want to set.
Yeah, exactly. And
but it's also a record that you never want to see broken.
Very true. Very, very true. So yeah. Tough. I hate that for him.
Eliminated from the playoffs was Austin Dillon, Josh Berry. Excuse me. Let's see. Who else was eliminated? I don't have my bracket in front of me right now.
Who'd you say?
SVG
and...
Was it Bowman?
Was it?
Alex Bowman?
Bowman?
I believe it was.
It may have been Bowman. Give me a sec. Let me get to the grid challenge. It should tell me the correct. Yep.
I want to say it was Bowman.
Bowman, SVG, and then Dillon and Berry was taken out. Which sucks. That for my grid challenge, I was 2 drivers off. Which was SVG and Bowman, which ended up being Bubba Wallace and Austin Cindric.
Yeah, and Bubba had a really good. We talk about Josh Berry's bad luck and heartbreak. Bubba came out and just he went into Bristol with a 50-point advantage on elimination.
Yeah.
So, he just came out in that first round and earned a lot of points. And really, really, I mean, he was impressive, to be honest with you, as well as he was running that first round of the playoffs this year. They definitely found something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. So.
So that kind of leaves us down to 12.
Yep.
Um, so and then we go to New Hampshire Motor
New
Speedway
Hampshire.
in Loudon, New Hampshire. Um, this for many, 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 many years has not been a favorite track of mine. I've not enjoyed playing it on the video games. I've not enjoyed watching it on TV. It's just not I don't know. To me, it's just not a good race. It's not a good venue.
The only time
Um,
I like this track, and when I say why, you'll probably understand, is when I'm racing the modifieds on the NASCAR '06 game. That's it. That's the only time I like this track.
yeah, I can see that. I can see
So
that.
I've never raced it with the modifieds on the simulator. Might have to give that a try eventually, but yeah,
Have
that's
you
the.
done Martinsville on the modified yet?
No, I have not. I haven't.
Right, you need to.
Yeah, that would be interesting. What I think what are some I've done USA International, which doesn't exist anymore, sadly. I've actually won multiple times with you at USA International in the modified. Um, I've done Myrtle Beach. I've done Concord, which is tricky.
Neither of which exist anymore.
I've done Old School Phoenix Raceway, the old layout when it was good. Um, and I think there's one more, but I can't remember. So there's still a lot of tracks I still need to go race, but I love the modifieds and I love racing the modifieds. That's the whole reason why I've got my Class A oval license, is because I just kept running modifieds. And keep in mind the SK modified. I've run Oxford as well, which is a very very short track. It's literally a circle. But the SK modifieds is Class D, and the official NASCAR Whelen modifieds is Class C. So they are lower classes, but they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry to get off topic.
Cool.
Back to the racing.
That's all right. Makes me want to go play NASCAR 06, to be honest with you.
I don't blame you.
Because
So
I've actually been playing Heat 5 lately, and it's kind of boring. But
yeah,
topic for later.
fair enough.
So Corey Heim wins the truck race. Raise your hand if you're surprised. Corey Heim wins. Woohoo!
Not here.
Corey Heim wins the truck race. Everything else, basically, some of these tracks, it's more of a race for second, than for win, because Corey's like out there.
Yeah.
So, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 playoff drivers in the top 10. 8 in the top 12. Of course, Jake Garcia has another off night. Patrick Emmerling, that's in the drivers playoff. No, what? Oh yeah, he's in the owners playoffs. I was like, wait, what? He's in the owners championship. In the 7 truck. Is not doing, kind of struggling there. So, but good race for New Hampshire standards for the trucks. Another domination by Corey Heim. This is where we talk about, if you go and you look at the NASCAR Winston Cup points page on X, they do all 3 series. They do the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series. You go and you look at the massive lead that Corey Heim has in the old wings, doing the old points, and it's just, I mean, it's a massive lead. It's like close to 1,000 points. So
Absolutely.
It's just the season that he's had. Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, astounding.
Yep.
The season that he's had.
Absolutely.
So, and when he doesn't win, if you watch the races when he doesn't win, it's not his fault. It's something happened on pit road, or maybe he got caught on a bad pit strategy, or something that's not been his fault has kept him from winning the races. So,
yep. Mechanical issues.
Yeah.
He finished
and some crazy.
Remember, he finished third during a race where his truck kept shutting off. Keep that in mind.
Right.
So,
was leading when it happened, and it just got passed with 10 laps to go or 5 laps to go.
I think it was like 5 to go. He had the lead. It was 5 to go. Truck shut off, got passed, fell to second. Truck came back on. Truck shut off again, got passed for second, fell to third, and then was able to finish off the race. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, that doesn't happen too often.
Right.
So anyway, this is the first race in the. Well, is it?
It
was it the first race for the truck?
It was the last race of the round of 10.
Okay, for the trucks, that's right. It was, wasn't it?
It set up our round of 8 going into the Roval.
So Gio Ruggiero and Ben Rhodes was eliminated. Ben Rhodes is just having a crappy.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy. He's just having a crappy year this year. This is literally a situation of can't win for losing.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for Ben Rhodes, but he's out of the playoffs. Gio Ruggiero's out. Jake Garcia, even though he wasn't having a great year, he wasn't having some great races, he was able to barely make it into the next round. So anyway, that sets up for the playoffs for the Truck Series. Let me look at their schedule real quick.
I'm going to correct you. Jake Garcia did not make it into the round of 8.
Oh, that's right. The round of 8. I was thinking round of 10.
Round of 10 is
right.
what ended.
I'm sorry. So it was Chandler Smith and Jake Garcia that didn't make it. Ben Rhodes didn't even make the playoffs. Wow. My bad. I guess I was thinking the Xfinity with the 12 drivers instead of 10. So, but yeah, Chandler Smith really both of them had an abysmal first round of the playoffs. So, those two are eliminated. My bad. I apologize, y'all. Wow. That was bad.
Yep. That's okay.
Anyway, so that sets up for the next round for the Truck Series, and I'm trying to pull up their schedule. There it is. Let's see. Their next race is the Charlotte Road Course, the Roval. So,
that'll be interesting.
Man, they've got a tough 3-race stretch to Phoenix, to the championship. They've got the Roval, Talladega, and Martinsville.
Okay. Well, dang. I'm just going to say Corey Heim, wild card, Corey Heim. That's all I'm going to say. Oh.
Yeah, that's the same thing I was thinking. Pretty much right there, too.
Good luck, everybody else.
If Corey Heim doesn't win at Martinsville, he's finishing top 5.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
but he's going to lock himself in. I agree. I believe he's going to. I believe he'll win the Roval. Just what he's done on the road courses this year in the Truck Series. Well, what he's done in the Truck Series this year. Forget just the road courses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got the Cup race. No big surprise here. Roger Penske goes out with Ryan Newman.
Newman?
Ryan Newman. Wow, that's way back, isn't it? Ryan Blaney goes out there and gets him one, and Ryan he was not going to be denied.
No.
He just went out there and took it. But I got to tell you, Josh Berry, that Bristol run you were talking about, he sure was trying to put it on him.
I know. Man, it's such more heartbreak to see, him not make the round of 12 and then have an absolute huge, would have been a really good point stay for this round for him. I mean, 4th in stage 1, 10th stage 2, it's a point, but it's still a point. We've talked about those 1-pointers could make a difference. Finished second. Oh my goodness, man. When I saw this, I was like, boo, man. Boo.
Right, yeah, I was too. I'll be honest with you. Of course, we both mentioned we're really both big Josh Berry fans. I was pulling hard for Josh those last 15, 20 laps. When they first mentioned Josh is catching him, I'm like, no way, he's not going to catch him. He's too far back. And then the next thing you know, he's on his bumper.
Yeah.
And we go back to, we talked about horsepower. If this car had horsepower, where Ryan spinning the tires up off of the corner trying to beat Josh Berry and Josh Berry's experience with conserving tires, Josh would have passed him
100%
and won this race. So William Byron turns the ship around and gets him a top 5.
Yep. Needed.
Joey Logano in the top 5, and Chase Elliott continues his consistent run. But again, this is the usual thing when we get to the playoffs. See, 1, 2, 3 of the top 12 are non-playoff drivers. So you've got 9 playoff drivers in the top 12. Which honestly, that makes it hard to make up points.
Yeah. I'll give you a fun one, though. That 11th place guy had fastest lap. Good old Carson Hocevar. Kid's figuring it out.
Yeah, Carson.
Kid's figuring it out, and he's bringing his A game too. He's trying to get up front. And if he wins a race, talk about a wild card during the playoffs.
Well, and you mentioned when we talk about the Truck Series schedule, and we mentioned Talladega. There's no reason Carson can't go out and win Talladega.
Absolutely not.
I mean, if 36 cars shows up at Talladega, any car that's running on the lead lap at the end has a chance at winning. I mean, we've seen it won from 15th place before, on the last lap. It's because everybody in front wrecks and
exactly.
The survivors, the 15th place car that had no business running in 15th. The only reason he was in 15th is because everybody behind him had already wrecked out.
Yep.
So, yep. So then, this is not one to cooperate. I'm probably going to have to pull this up on my phone. We go to
Kansas for Xfinity.
Kansas, yep. So I guess I thought we had one more race, but I guess this is it. Kansas this past weekend.
Yep.
Was it this past weekend? Wow.
It was this past weekend.
So Xfinity race for Kansas. Brandon Jones goes out, gets his second win of the season. For Joe Gibbs Racing, locks himself into the next round of the playoffs for the Xfinity Series. And I cannot believe the terrible streak that he's on. There's 2 races in a row that he's not won, but Connor Zillage finishes second. If he keeps this up, he's not going to make the next round of the playoffs. I mean, God, what is wrong with this kid? He's had a 5th and a 2nd.
Oh no.
But you know what he did do? With his 2nd place is he broke the record for most consecutive top 15 finishes held by Sam Ard, one of the greatest second tier series. I guess that's what we can call it, because back when he was doing it, it was the Grand National Series.
Yeah.
Then became the Busch Series, then the Nationwide Series.
Now Xfinity.
Then the Xfinity Series. So
about to be O'Reilly's.
But yeah, what a record to break.
And I'll just throw this out there. 41-year-old record.
Say much, but I was 7 when that record was set. But you know what? Yeah. One of 2 things could happen. This record could be broken next year. But this record could also go for another 41 years.
That's very true. Very true.
I mean, that's one of those things. I mean, but man, what a hot streak this guy is on.
Kid's got it.
I mean, I think it was Freddie Kraft on Door Bumper Clear a couple weeks ago that was saying something about if Connor Zillage or Corey Heim didn't win the championship at Phoenix for whatever reason, that NASCAR should give them the trophy anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, because you just look at what these 2 guys are doing. First off, it's historical. Corey Heim has tied the record for most wins.
I meant to mention that. My bad.
In a season. Well, I thought we had one more race to go, so that's why I didn't mention it.
True.
He's tied for most wins in the season, which, you mentioned he's going to win one or if not both of the next 2, which puts him ahead. And goes into Phoenix with the most wins of the season in history. Connor Zillage goes into, Connor Zillage very easily could finish the year out top 5, right?
Yeah.
But let's just say Connor Zillage goes into Phoenix. We all know how good Justin Allgaier is at Phoenix. Justin finishes 4th. Connor finishes 5th. Justin wins the championship. Okay. But Connor Zillage goes into Phoenix with the most top 5s already, consecutive top 5s in history. He's already, I believe he set the record. I know he set the record for the most wins for a rookie in the Xfinity Series. There's still time for him to set the record for the most wins in the Xfinity Series in a year. So he goes into that and not wins because of one position. I mean, that's
crazy. I mean, it that just shows you that this playoff format's stupid.
I mean, I love Justin Allgaier. Huge Justin Allgaier fan.
Oh,
but
yeah.
If that was the case, I would believe Justin Allgaier did not win a legitimate championship.
Yeah.
He won a one-race playoff. He won the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't win the championship. He won the playoffs.
Right.
So give Connor the trophy.
Exactly.
I don't know. Dale Jr. is smart enough. Dale Jr. would probably go and get another trophy made, just like the Xfinity Series trophy, and be like, "Hey, Connor, no, NASCAR didn't give it to you, but Junior Motorsports is going to give it to you."
And I feel like Allgaier would be like, I mean, Allgaier's pretty, honest and respectful. I would see him being like, I don't deserve this. This should go to Connor Zillage, not me. After the year he's had. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's crazy how.
Anyways.
But Junior Motorsports, again, talk about Junior Motorsports. Junior Motorsports dominated this race. Justin Allgaier dominated this race, but then decided to stay out on that last pit stop and just had older tires, and they just kind of ran over him.
Yeah.
And so new tires won. New tires won that race. Which tells me that Kansas tires mean something at Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
The way you take care of your tires means something at Kansas.
Yeah.
And we saw that in the Cup race as well.
Yeah, indeed.
Tires meant something.
Yep.
Tires meant something, except for first and second stage.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin stayed out first stage on older tires, was able to win it and hold everybody off. And I'm just kind of like, really? So we're talking about tire wear. But, he's got older tires and he's able to.
Yeah.
I think he took 2 tires. So he did have some new ones, but still, everybody else that took 2 tires on that stop fell like a rock.
Yeah, exactly.
And stage 2 is the same thing. Everybody that took 2 tires, nobody was able to run up there. But I'm gonna let you talk about the ending of this race. The last restart. First off, well, before we get to that, we'll just mention the weekly scheduled 51 wreck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cody Ware weekly scheduled wreck set up for that stage 1 ending.
Yeah.
And kind of did that. But that last restart, those last couple laps, was where I want to say the most chaos happened and the most wrecks happened that weren't wrecks.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, if you go back, it's, green, white, checkered. I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, going in turn 1, you had all sorts of people up there.
Bell and Bubba.
Yeah,
Bell and Bubba, really.
Yeah, Bell and Bubba. Bubba got up to Bell. Bell drops back. I mean, he just dropped. He didn't drop far, but he dropped. Bringing up Denny Hamlin to Bubba, and, we're coming around. We stayed like that pretty much. Briscoe was there as well. So it's kind of like a 3-way fight going on till we come to the white flag. Bell gets Briscoe up into the wall coming out of turn 2, final lap, drops them back. Oh, look, a light blue number 9 car just appeared out of nowhere, pretty much from that one. And I don't know if Denny Hamlin got tight, if he was just hardcore racing and, rubbing his racing. Turn 3 and 4, middle of the track, slides up into Bubba. Bubba slides up, smacks the wall. Elliott's wrapping that white line on the bottom. And then I don't know what Hamlin's thinking after smacking Bubba, because then he comes, it's like he's just left turned coming down to the white line for no apparent reason. Elliott doors Hamlin. I love seeing that. That was great. Bye. And boom.
Elliott kind of held it. In my opinion, I don't think I think Elliott held it, and Hamlin doored him. Honestly,
Elliott doored with like his right front bumper. He doored Hamlin, but it was Hamlin's fault. Elliott held his line, and then just stuck it out. I mean, if you go back and watch the radioactive / radio video of the in-car camera, I mean,
yeah.
Elliott said, "I'm staying flat out. I'm holding it down." Doors Hamlin, goes on, wins the race. Oh my goodness! I'll say this:
he restarted.
He restarted 10th.
7th. Was it 10th?
It was 10th.
I thought it was 7th on that restart.
Nope.
It was 10th on the.
So
okay.
It was like he restarted 7th, caution. Restarted 8th, caution. Restarted 10th. Came in, win the race.
Okay, that's what it was.
So yeah, there's that. Crazy. That just shows you that it's not over till the checkered flag is flown, even at these, even not at a super speedway.
And I'll tell you, I did not see the 9 car at all. I guess it was the camera angles. I did not see the 9 car at all until they're coming out of turn 4, and then you kind of see this car down there, and it's like, and he's, you're not really used to seeing that light blue car because he doesn't drive that Kelly Blue Book car very often. So it's kind of like you have to look twice to see who it is, and you're like, and by that time they're crossing the line, and you're like, where did he come from?
Yeah, I remember.
I didn't even see him get in the top 5, much less be here in turn 4 to pass for the win.
Yeah, during that whole last restart, you see him at the start-finish line in 10th. Final lap, you see him, like, I think he's 5th or 6th, but he's like, you just like barely see him because, they're focused on the fight with the battle up front and the leaders. And then all of a sudden, you just see this guy coming out of turn 4 during the 11. Actually, you really don't see him until he moves, the 11 gets moved out of the way.
Yeah, right.
And then there he is. And then checkered flag. So, I mean, amazing racing. I'll be honest, the Cup Kansas race was actually pretty solid, especially the ending, because I am a Chase Elliott fan. Plus, I thought it was good regardless. It was a battle for the win. But
so let me ask you this: we talk about the green-white checkers. Back in the day, we talk about NASCAR going back to its roots. Back in the day, lap 267, is that what it was supposed to be? Yeah, 267 laps. That would have been the end of the race. Regardless whether we're under caution, whatever. Bubba Wallace would have won this race because he was leading on lap 267.
Yep.
So we talk about NASCAR going back to its roots. Green-white checkered was one of the things that came along with the chase, I believe. It came around about the same time, maybe a little bit after. How do you feel about green-white checkers? Does a green-white checkered finish like this make up for 269, 270-ish laps?
I mean, it could be swayed both ways, just because it really just depends on how it came down to this green-white checkered. If it came down to a simple flat tire, smack the wall, no. Just finish the race. Came down to a single car spin, maybe, but he stayed out of the wall and can keep going. No, just finish the race. Of course, what brought out this green-white checkered was a car smack, a little bit of car pileup. One car was stopped, could not move anymore. Okay, call the caution. That's a safety issue. Safety should be priority with these races, as always. So, I would say it just depends on what was the reason for said caution to come out, if it came out. So,
Okay.
but yeah. So yeah. However, just a quick note back on Elliott, and then we can move on. If you haven't stuck with Elliott since day one, like I'm pretty sure most Elliott fans have. We all know this Kelley Blue Book car has been, besides last year's primary Napa scheme, was kind of the cursed paint scheme. Always ended up in a wreck, always, had something happen with the car mechanically. It was kind of just a bad luck scheme. Hopefully this win kind of takes that away, takes that curse off, and maybe we can see some more Kelley Blue Book wins. Not that I'm against any paint scheme winning, but I need a variety. I need more reasons.
This has to be his worst paint scheme, though.
100%.
Talk about the way it looks.
Yeah. I won't lie though, that light blue with the yellow, I actually like it. It's kind of weird. It's different. That darker blue was good, but I kind of like this light blue with the yellow stripe. It looked nice.
From the top of the car and the front of the car and the back of the car, it looks really, really good. You look at the side of the car and where the number's at, and then you got that big Kelley Blue Book ribbon or whatever on the side of the car. It just looks...
Hey, NASCAR needs a fan's advice. Put the number back on the door.
Right?
So, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Happy about that Chase Elliott win.
Happy birthday to you,
by
the way.
Thank you.
Chase giving you a win for your birthday. But what do you think about this, though? This is the part, there's several interesting aspects to this. First off, on that restart, there were 5 Toyotas in the top 5.
Yes.
They didn't win the race.
No.
Chevrolet won the race.
Mm-hmm.
Second off, you had 2 teams in the top 5. You had 3 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, 2 2311 Toyotas.
Yep.
2311 pushes the Joe Gibbs Racing out of the way with the 23 and the 20 car. But then you got coming into turn 3. Now I understand Denny didn't have power steering.
Yes.
I get that.
Yep.
Makes the car harder to drive. He did slide up into Bubba, push Bubba into the wall. But and here's what everybody's talking about this week. And Denny had his opinion, and we could talk about that in a minute. Bubba had his opinion, but Denny Hamlin, the race car driver, is going for a win.
Mm-hmm.
Denny Hamlin, the race car owner, is going for a win.
Yep.
Neither one of them win the race because Denny Hamlin makes a mistake.
Yeah. And makes it that much harder for Bubba Wallace to potentially move on to the round of 8.
Yeah, because he's last in point in the playoff points right now. He's way behind. He's gonna have to win at the Roval, which Bubba's getting better on road courses, but I don't think he's win ready on road courses.
No. Which, in my opinion, honestly, it sucks for not just Bubba, himself, but for 2311. I mean, I would love to see, with everything going on, on the business side of things, for 2311 to come, win a championship. Still prefer, William Byron or Chase Elliott at this point, with some momentum coming out of Kansas, I'm sure. That would be my next pick. Bubba Wallace or Tyler Reddick. Big smack in the face to NASCAR, for sure. But both of them are now under cut line, especially with Bubba not winning. And another thing, NASCAR posted what the playoffs would look like with Bubba Wallace winning. That took Joey Logano out of the top 8.
right?
I wouldn't have been
Which,
opposed to it
we
at
want
all.
to happen.
I mean, I like Bubba too, so
You do a lot of iRacing. Um, put yourself in Denny's shoes for a minute. All right. Um, you do not own your team. The car that you are driving, you do not own that car. Your owner, the person that owns your car, pays you a lot of money to win races and compete for championships. The car that you are racing is the car that you own, that you pay that driver a lot of money to win races and compete for championships. How do you race? Do you make the pass? Do you push like Denny did and cost both of you the race? Or do you maybe not drive so deep into turn 3 and give yourself an opportunity to win the race, but don't take yourself and your car out of it? Which one do you do?
so obviously wouldn't do that second choice. I would try not. I would try not to make a mistake. Obviously,
You wouldn't have done what he did.
yeah. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have been where he was at that time. I would have gone much. I would have entered that turn a lot lower, especially being Kansas. Yes, the middle lane is fast, but with where Bubba Wallace was, and this could have been a spotter thing too. I need my spotter to tell me where he is, especially if he's, I don't care which lane he's in. If he's, where my car is as well, I need to know he's there, so I can make the correct entrance going into the turn and even the correct exit if he's not, if that top lane of Bubba Wallace wasn't going to have the exit momentum he would have needed to get past me. So, yeah, I would have kept fighting for it, yes, because that's my job. But I would have been a little bit smarter with my decision and probably a little more chatty with my spotter. Constantly, where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? So, it would also depend if I was in Denny's shoes. Little to no power steering. We never knew. I could have made the exact same mistake because of power steering. So, something like that, that one's just kind of out of my hands, but I still would have tried to enter much lower than Denny did. Oh, that's just my 2 cents.
So the other driver I want to mention in this race was William Byron. He was literally out to lunch the first 3/4 of this race. Said they missed. He was on the radio. He said they missed something. He said the car was terrible. They spent time on pit road during one of the cautions to fix it, and it seemed like it just got worse after that.
Mm-hmm.
And just out to lunch. And then those cautions started falling. They got some fresh tires on it. And he was able to get his way back up to 9th for a decent finish. Not necessarily what he was looking for. He got no stage points. How can and Cal Larson, Chase Elliott were up front pretty much most of the day. I mean, Alex Bowman was even light years during 3/4 of this race, light years ahead of William Byron.
Mm-hmm.
But this shows you this is a championship preserving effort to be able to go out there and finish 9th after having just a god awful day,
Mm-hmm.
and go into the final race with a 40-point cushion. And Williams a decent road racer. I wouldn't say he's the greatest. He's won Watkins Glen. He's won at Coda.
He's had a good fair share of
he
wins.
He definitely put himself in a good position. But if he'd have finished where they'd been running all day, I mean, he'd be in a Joey Logano position, like 13, 14 points up.
Yep.
He'd still be a cut above the cut line, but he sure wouldn't have the cushion that he's got.
Yeah, exactly.
So championship effort by that team to be able to figure something out.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Um,
yep. So anyways, a couple more things on that race, and then we can kind of start wrapping up. SVG. First top 10 on an oval without his actual crew chief as well. And ended up, going a lap down right at the start of the race due to, I forget why, honestly, but impressive.
They made a very bad decision to make an adjustment after going through inspection.
Okay. That would make sense.
And got caught.
Okay. Well, that would make sense, but
hey,
I mean...
Here's the thing. After you go through inspection, don't touch the car. And don't touch the car when officials are standing there watching you touch the car.
Yeah. For sure. So congrats to him. He's improving on those ovals. Still got a little bit of work to do, but he's getting there. He is getting there. And the other news is there was a penalty / fine to the 77, the driver of the 77, Carson Hocevar. At first I was very confused of why. Then I finally saw a video of why it was given. But he was fined $50,000 because his tires were spinning when they were trying to hook the car up to the tow truck. Now, I don't know how that's happening. Normally
he was trying to go. He was trying to leave and get back to pit road on his own. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't see this. TV did not show it whatsoever. And I was like you. I was confused. I'm like, wait, what? And Bob Pockrass tried to explain it. Jeff Gluck tried to explain it. I'm like, still doesn't make any sense. And then NASCAR released the video. I'm like, oh, this makes perfect sense. Now I understand why he got fined.
Yeah.
I'd have fined his butt too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame NASCAR for that penalty, but I was, like I said, I was very confused because normally the driver's out of the car before the tow truck's even getting ready to hook up to the car. So that's another reason why I was very confused.
And I think that might have been part of the problem too. I don't know this for sure, but they may have told him to get out of the car and he was refusing to get out of the car.
Yeah, which could be another issue. But anyways, fined $50K. However, he might have a little help making that fine payment because apparently he set a $50K donation goal during a live stream. He streams a lot on Twitch, so hey, fans, if you got the money and you love the dude that much, go for it. I wouldn't.
I'll be honest with you. Dude makes a whole lot more money than you do. Don't give him your money. Let him pay his own fine.
Yeah, I would agree on that one. So
you got your own groceries to buy. Let him pay his own fine. Now, if he's going to pay the fine, but he's doing the $50,000 for charity, okay, then go ahead and do that. But if he's going to use your money to pay his fine, then I'm sorry, dude makes way more money than you do.
And it honestly, it may be for a charity. It's not really described what it's for. I'm just kind of going off what I think it might be, but it may be for charity. I would do something like that if I was in Carson's shoes. I'd be like, hey, I gotta pay $50K out of pocket. If you guys match that donation, I will take all those donations and put it towards a charity. I would 100% do something like that. And then if I was in Carson's shoes, I would also take that donation money and double it with my own money because I know I've got it, and also give it along with the fun, the charity. So that's me. But yeah, that is it for racing. For now.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't want to talk about fantasy since I'm almost 1,000 points ahead.
I honestly, I forget about fantasy 90% of the time.
I know.
I'm living.
Even though I send him a message,
Well,
folks, I send him a message every Sunday morning or Saturday morning, and
Saturdays I normally get it. When you send them on Saturday, I normally go and do it pretty much right then and there. However, when you send it on a Sunday morning, 9 times out of 10, I'm still asleep. And then when I'm getting up, it's too late because the races start very early in the afternoon. And I'm in Alaska. My morning time is already afternoon time, Eastern time. So,
hey, set it on Saturday night right after qualifying. You won't have the problem.
I need to just go set a reminder at like 5 o'clock Saturday evening.
Do you not get an email that reminds you?
I do get an email, but I don't pay attention to my email 24/7. I also don't have notifications enabled for my emails, so because then it would
either, but I still get that email.
Well, anyways, yes, you're whooping my butt.
Yeah, so since you don't want to talk about that, let's talk about something exciting.
Ooh, yeah.
That is coming to us a week from today. Today being October 2nd. If you pre-order this, you will get it on the 9th.
And you get it on the 10th. Midnight of the 9th, which is officially the 10th. But yes.
NASCAR 25.
Oh, I'm so excited for this game. So much more has come out. We got an official gameplay trailer come out. We got a lot of screenshots of the cars. There's already pictures talking about the October DLC pack dropping with already more paint schemes. There's already a ton included. There's more coming out. I also want to note, I don't know how the paint booth for your custom car is going to be. I don't know if you saw my tweet on that, but I was trying to figure out what that might be. However, you are going to be allowed to have multiple custom paint schemes for your car, your personal car, custom car. Amazing. We haven't had that in ever.
Ever?
Yeah, exactly.
You've always only had one scheme.
Yeah, it's always been one. So it's awesome to have that. Like I said, still trying to figure out what the paint booth is going to look like. If it's going to be kind of like trading paint.
Definitely a carryover from the actual iRacing because, like I said, we've always only been able to have like one scheme. Now there was, can't remember which game it was. I can't remember if it was the NASCAR Inside Line or. It was during that time period where you could go and you could change your sponsors.
Yeah.
And you could change up the look of your car, every week. Like you could move your sponsors every week if you wanted to. You had to be sponsored by those people to put it on your car in your career mode. But you couldn't. I mean, that took a lot of work. You had to do that every week. You couldn't just go and create 5 different cars and then just go select a different car every week. So that is something that's something that apparently they've kept kind of close to the belt because up until yesterday was it that we found out about yesterday or today that we found out that there was even going to be a paint booth to that extreme. So that is definitely an iRacing carryover that I'm looking forward to exploring.
Yeah. Like I said,
and check it. Of course, I'm just excited to have a game.
Yeah, that is very true. It's been a few years since we've had a good one. But yeah, I'm like I said, trying to get info on what the paint booth's going to be like. If it's going to be kind of like how iRacing and trading paints are merged together. If they're going to have something like that. If there's going to be a specific paint booth in the game. Of course, I mean, iRacing, the software itself has a paint booth in the game, but, having that collab with Trading Paints really lets you open up that that creativity. There's a lot of us that like to go run those old school schemes, especially if you're in a league race and you want to do throwbacks, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, as well for the league. But yeah, I mean, excitement. I'm excited for this. I'm already ready.
You want to know how excited I am?
Oh, I'm sure you're excited after today's news.
I was able to get me a new steering wheel.
Yay! New steering wheel. Not quite as advanced as mine, but
No, no. This is. But if you're looking for a steering wheel for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and you're looking for something that's not going to break the bank, this is actually, I found this on clearance at Walmart. It was like 40% off.
Yeah.
So heck of a deal. Paid less for this one than we did the one that you broke.
Yeah. I broke the brake wiring on that one
So
some way, somehow. I don't even know how, but the brake didn't work.
I will do some controller racing with it. But most of my racing on NASCAR 25 is going to be with the steering wheel. I'll do the controller racing just to know what it's like, to be able to explain the differences in the two. Unfortunately, I'm going to get to play it for a little bit on the 10th, probably not a whole lot, not enough even for me to get on and do some streaming stuff. I will tell you this, I'm not going to start my career on the 10th, because I want to be able to stream starting the career. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
But I'll get on and do some and play around and do some quick races and stuff like that, just to kind of get used to the physics and the controls and stuff like that. So and then maybe the week after that, dive into it quite a bit more.
Yeah, something I'm not 100% sure about yet, just because of not seeing kind of how the controller / steering wheel gameplay may have been. Not sure if it's like the simulator on the PC with the iRacing, if it's going to be kind of like that style racing, because there are limits to the console. Of course, console has almost caught up to how PC gaming is nowadays, just with graphics at least. So who knows? I'll definitely give it a whirl. One thing I will note, if scheduling will allow it, I will be doing a midnight release stream of the game. Where I have not decided yet. Is
that midnight Eastern time?
That's a great question.
Because if it is, that's 9 o'clock your time.
That is 9 o'clock my time. I'm gonna have to look into that.
So you actually kind of get a jump on it. Well, even if it's Pacific, even if it's midnight Pacific time, that's 11 o'clock your time.
Yeah.
So you still have an hour jump on it. So that's cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. If that is the case. If it is like that though, it won't exactly be that the release time. But if like I said, if schedule allows it, I'll at least get a stream in at release. Where I haven't decided yet. I'm trying to grow a little with TikTok right now. So I've been live on TikTok a lot of times. I know some people don't like TikTok, but it's really good growing community just to kind of get yourself out there. I've been doing a lot of collab streams with NG Gaming, a buddy of mine who I've mentioned multiple times. So check him out as well. He's really hitting it off recently. I might do.
I tell you, all I know about TikTok is that's the sound the clock makes.
Fair enough. So who knows? I might even try. I might do a little bit TikTok and then switch over and do some YouTube. That way I have it on both. If it is on TikTok, I'll at least have it recorded as well, so I can just kind of take the TikTok live video and upload it as a VOD on YouTube, so you YouTube subscribers don't miss out on that content. I'm trying to kind of start doing that with my TikTok content as well, where I can take the TikTok live streams, because I can record them, thankfully, and just kind of upload them. That way you're not missing some fun times, especially when I'm co-hosting, and collabing with NG Gaming as well, because there's a lot of goofy moments there. If you do, however, watch when those do start, I do just want to throw out there, be careful. not everybody is clean with their language. I am. My language will still be clean. It will always be clean. However, when I collab with other people, their language isn't necessarily clean. They try. They do respect my wishes and try to, but it doesn't always work out. So if that happens, and plus online gaming, there's always somebody just dropping words. But what I'll try to do is try and go bleep those out since it'll be recorded, so I can try and get those bleeped out before I upload them. So if I miss something, I apologize for that ahead of time. But anyways, also along with the NASCAR,
because there are a lot of kids. I know your brother, along with several of his friends, watch you. So
yes.
It's always good to do that.
So I will do my best. If I miss something, leave a comment, timestamp it for me. I will take the video down, fix that mistake, and re-upload it, just to try and keep it as clean as I can. So other quick, before we wrap up, NASCAR 25 news. As y'all know, H&N, I'm with H&N in the iRacing League. They had a console league with NASCAR Heat 5. They also have the F1 25 Racing League as well. But they're going to restart their console league. It's going to be on PS5. So Duke Rider, if you want to get in on this, if your schedule allows it, you're more than welcome to. Let me know. We could probably be co-drivers for the same car. I'm going to be doing part-time with it. Already been accepted. The part-time car, they kind of do it NASCAR-ish style with full-time cars and teams and blah, blah, blah. Not custom race cars. So going to be driving for Trackhouse. Going to be driving the 91 car part-time, as I said. Right now, since it's just me, I can run any race I want. The team owner said I could run every race if I wanted to. I'm not going to do every race. Also, probably not going to live stream them. I will record them, just because some of the guys have already told me don't do that because there's going to be a lot of language involved because we get hectic sometimes. So, but yes, so there's that. So
I've noticed that on your regular stream.
Yeah, I try.
I know.
Obviously, live stream is a little bit harder to clean up. That's just more of trying to get the guys to follow my wishes, and it doesn't always work out. So, excuse me. Anyways, excited for that. Like I said, part-time, just because scheduling and the racing is on a Friday night, so I like spending Friday night's normally the family time, so I like spending time with my wife on Friday nights for sure. So maybe we can squeeze in being part-time a few. So I can talk to you more about that.
Yeah, that's so
camera.
weird hearing him say that.
Still an adjustment, that's for sure. But yeah. And the league, I don't know if y'all watched the Texas stream. Towards the end, there was a lot of questions. More to come on that towards the end of the season, what decisions will be made. But however, next is Darlington, our throwback races for both the Cup and Xfinity Series. So announcing my...
But it's not the Xfinity Series.
Okay, it's Round the Track Podcast.
Round the Track Podcast
Series and the Impex Auto Glass Cup Series. I'll throw the Spencers out. I'm not saying Siri, you dumb phone. I'm saying series. Yes. Anyways, Darlington, our throwback races. I don't know how many of y'all watched Bristol from season 1. I ran a 06, I believe, Kevin Harvick Goodrich scheme. Gonna be rerunning that scheme, just to, now that there's a lot more people on the channel, try to get that out there again. For the Round the Track podcast series, I will be throwing it back to Mark Martin's 92 or 93, if I remember correctly, Winn-Dixie Busch Series car. So,
Oh, wow.
that's if...
That was when that team first got up and started.
Yep, that is...
And Mark Martin was whipping the pants off of those Busch Series drivers in that car.
I will say that one is still pending, though, because I have to get it created. I actually have two people. I have one person that said he will try. The other person hasn't got back to me yet. So we'll see. Should be able to get it. If not, I might be able to wheel and deal my smallish but good creativity skills. Trading paints, you got to be really creative with trading paints. Just saying. A lot of the really, really good cars that you've seen, like my Podcast USA, my Dubby Good Rants, the UDX scheme, have been other people created them because I have no idea what I'm doing. The only reason the Dubby scheme looks so good is just because I went in there and I was like, I've got some time, let me play around with this thing. And that's how I made it look 10 times better than just a plain black with logos. Right. Anyways, look forward to those.
Yeah, when you get that made, you're definitely going to have to post a picture of it on X and tag Mark Martin and let him know, what you're doing and what you're running.
Absolutely. We'll be posting a picture of both the Cup and Xfinity throwback or Round the Track podcast. I'm just going to call it the podcast series to shorten it. Tagging both Kevin Harvick and Mark Martin. I don't think Kevin's going to say anything, but Mark Martin definitely would probably say something and be like, awesome.
Oh, yeah, Mark Martin. And that's one thing that we love about Mark Martin is very interactive with the fans.
Yeah.
Which is why he knows what we want, and he's able to go to those committees and be like, hey, this is what the fans want, because he actually talks to the fans. He doesn't talk down to the fans. He doesn't tell us if we don't like what we're watching. If we don't like what we're watching, don't watch it. He's like, oh, I like that. I agree with that.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what both of those look like. One of the throwbacks that you're going to have to run, and I didn't think about this when you asked me about it the other day, is Kevin Harvick's 2006 Coast Guard throwback from his championship Coast Guard car.
Ah, that would be a good car to run. I completely forgot that car existed, to be honest with you. So that's a good car to...
actually on my wall beside me.
It's actually a good car to put on my throwbacks list.
It's not in the computer shot here. I can kind of maybe move it. It's this one right here.
Ah, okay. I remember it now. So.
And then the one in front of it is Coast Guard Reserve that he drove, I think, for one race that year.
All right.
Y'all, we love the military. We love the military cars.
Yeah, definitely. So, yep. That's all I got for this podcast. You got anything else?
No, we haven't. I have not. As you can see behind me, I've been working on getting the fan cave set up. I'm almost done. Once I get it finished, I'm actually going to do a video that starting at the bottom of the stairs and working my way up and through the room, show everybody what that looks like. And I'm also going to enter it into the Dale Jr. Downloads Man Cave contest. This is not a man cave. This is a fan cave. I even have a flag that says that. But I will hopefully be able to do that before we go on our trip week after next. And just kind of show you guys what all's going on up here. It does have my office in it too, but there's cars. I'm surrounded by diecast and NASCAR stuff. You see flags hanging from the ceiling, diecast behind me, old diecast behind me from I got the 1992 Daytona 500 top 3 finishers, old racing champions set hanging back there behind me. But take a look at that. I do still plan on doing the Red Dead Redemption 2 walks playthrough on PlayStation. for everybody to see. But something that's holding me up is there's rumors remastered for the PlayStation 5.
Ooh, that would be great.
Um, that's one reason I saw that look on your face. You haven't seen this, have you?
No, I haven't. But
um, that is one reason that I have not started, because if they do a remaster, I want to walk through it. Can you imagine PlayStation 5 graphics? The graphics on this game are already awesome.
amazing, yes.
And then you upgrade it to technology, the PlayStation 5, it's going to look almost more realistic than it already does. So I'm waiting to find out if that's going to be a reality. If it's not, I'll get started. If it is, I'm going to wait.
Absolutely.
Even if I have to wait another year
Yeah.
to do that. Also, rumor has it there is a Red Dead Redemption 3 in the making.
Nice.
Um,
They need to finish GTA
plan,
6 first, but yes.
yes, absolutely, I agree. That's definitely a must. Um, so we'll be working on that as far as streaming goes. Haven't had any race win diecast come in recently. So but if I remember correctly, we do have Justin Allgaier's championship Phoenix car from last year due soon.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have William Byron's Daytona 500 due soon.
Nice.
So of course, the release dates of those are actually different for us because we got the autographed version. So it takes William a little while to get the diecast signed and get them shipped out. So and I think pretty much the same with Justin. So when those come in, we'll be getting those reviews done. Got a nice desk over here where I can do reviews and stuff like that. So and then of course, I think we've ragged it to death. NASCAR 25.
Yep.
You'll be seeing both of us do a lot of gameplay on that when it comes out. So I think that's the only recent game that's coming out. So man, there's a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Gaming wise, for sure.
Yeah. Um, yeah. On that note, I will let you do our non-sponsor shout-outs real quick. I need to go grab my computer charger because it's about to die, and I do not want to lose all this footage. So I'll be back.
Yeah. Okay. So for non-sponsor shout-outs, let me pull on the list. Of course, I know I'll go ahead and and run through most of what we do because we haven't done that in a few episodes, but we have, of course, one of my favorites, the Scene Vault podcast with Rick Houston and Steve Wade. Check that out. If you love the history of the sport, they do a lot of great coverage of the history of the sport. There's Door Bumper Clear with Freddie Kraft, Tommy Baldwin, and guests this year. It's been wonderful to listen to that. Dale Jr. Download with Dale Jr. Don't just listen to the Dale Jr. Download on Tuesdays. Listen to the interviews that they put out on Wednesdays. Awesome interviews. Cover a lot of the history of the sport with some of these guys. Actions Detrimental with Denny Hamlin. Denny has been very candid since he started this podcast. Continues to be very candid, very honest, very. He goes into detail about what happened in Kansas and where he was, where his mindset was in the situation in Kansas. So check that out. Listen to that. The Teardown with Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi. I'll be honest with you, Jordan Bianchi sometimes is hard to listen to. He's very condescending, especially towards the fans. He thinks he knows. He thinks he knows what the fans want better than the fans. But Jeff Gluck does a really good job winning arguments with Jordan. Happy Hour with Kevin Harvick on Tuesdays. His interviews on Thursdays as well. If you just watch the podcast, but you don't watch the interviews, same with Dale Jr., you're missing out quite a bit. Stacking Pennies with Corey LaJoie. Y'all have fun with that one. It's kind of hard to listen to him sometimes. But sometimes he has some really good guests on there that's fun to listen to. On X, if you're not following Matt Weaver, you are missing out. And I'm not talking about just missing out on NASCAR stuff. You're missing out on a lot of racing if you're not following Matt Weaver. So follow Matt, Bob Pockrass as well. Of course, Couch Racers, they're no longer an active brand, but they are active on X. So check them out. Jayski, of course, for all of your stats, historical stats, current stats. Brock Beard on X and YouTube. Follow him and check out his videos and stuff like that. He does some really excellent videos with some really great interviews, to be honest with you. Also covers a lot of drivers that broadcasts don't cover. So check them out, and I'm going to throw one on there that's kind of new to our list. We've mentioned it several times in this podcast, but check out NASCAR Winston Cup point standings on Twitter. Check them out, follow them, follow what they're doing, and how they're covering the season using the old Winston Cup point series standings, and then of course personal favorite of everybody, CircleB.cast.com. Circle B Diecast is sponsoring a truck this weekend at the Roval, the number 41 of Josh Bilicki. Something they haven't done in a couple years, is where they offered fans an opportunity to put our names on the truck for as part of the sponsorship deal. And guess what? Our name is going to be on the truck. So our real family name is going to be on the truck. So order all of your diecast from CircleBDiecast.com, except for your Chase Elliott, William Byron wins that you want to order from HendrickMotorsports.com, because you can get an awesome elite autographed version. So that's all I got for our our non-sponsored shout out. If any of them want to become a sponsor, you're welcome to join us.
Please.
You might even find yourself in an iRacing league on a car.
Actually, yes, that's a very good point. Very good point. Anywho, thank you for that. I apologize. I had to go get my charger, and I actually was kind of sitting here panicking for a minute after getting the charger, but we should be good now. I apologize. That's on me. Anyways, for our partners / sponsors of the channel, I thank these companies very, very much for letting me be a part of their teams. You have Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. I've been drinking it during the recording as well. Really good stuff. So check them out for your energy drink needs. You got Rankest Rope Ranch Wear, your Western and rodeo style crossover of apparel. Really good looking stuff, really comfortable stuff. I wear their hoodie almost daily, and their hat. You got Undrdog Athletix, UDX, your faith-based athletic apparel. If you haven't seen, I try to wear the arm sleeve during streams. They have that says "Powered by Jesus." They have others with different Christian sayings as well. So check them out. And then you have Follow Him Apparel, your regular faith-based apparel. Still waiting on getting some of that myself. Sadly, had a lot of things come up, a wedding, mostly. So check them out as well. All links down in the description down below, along with what code to use at checkout for your discount. I'm going to also, Logitech is what I use for my racing setup. I got the whole ordeal here. It's the G920, I believe. 3 pedals, 8 shifter, GeForce 8 shifter edition. I'm going to try and see. I doubt it, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I'm going to reach out to them and try to see if I get a video or stream partnership, sponsorship, whatever. And try and test out their brand new steering wheel that they just released. If you haven't seen it, a lot of NASCAR drivers have already tested it out. It looks amazing. It's like 3 times better than just this wheel, and this wheel is actually amazing itself. And I love Logitech. Logitech's got some really good computer and sim equipment themselves. So keep your fingers crossed for that one. That would be awesome. Yeah.
My very first computer, and I played the old NASCAR Papyrus games on computer. My very first steering wheel was a Logitech. And this was before you had steering wheels and pedals. Your pedals were paddles on the back of your shifter or back of your steering wheel, because that was all they had.
Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, yeah. Exciting things coming. Mostly gaming related, of course. Still got the Sim League going strong for now. I've got it to where I
How
can...
many more races y'all got? You got to be coming close to mid-season at least.
We're past mid-season. Give me a second, and I will pull up the schedule. If I can not have a brain fart trying to pull it up. Because a lot of times I'll go to do something on my phone lately, and I'll just go like, why did I pick my phone up? So for the Cup Series, we have 4 races left until the playoffs. So that is Darlington, Talladega, Charlotte, and Bristol. I look forward to forward to all of those except Bristol. If y'all missed the Daytona season opener, go watch it. I was on fire that race until idiots. I'll just leave it at that.
Like, not literally on fire. Like, the car wasn't burning to the ground.
No, I was burning for a passion for my first win still, and was going to have it, but other complications came up with the race due to cautions, and as I said, idiots. So look forward to Talladega. Look forward to Charlotte. I'm pretty strong at Charlotte as well. After that,
so it's the oval.
Well, yes, it's the oval. We're done for road course. Coda was our only road course, thank goodness. Although I feel like I got to completely redo the Roval now because it's a new layout. Something we forgot to kind of mention about that coming up, but oh well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's a new.
Well, they ran it last year.
Did they?
Yeah, they ran the layout last year.
Maybe it's just been that long since I've been to the Roval on the simulator. I never noticed it. And then playoffs start November 4th, Atlanta. Another race to look forward to for me. Was very strong last season at Atlanta until I was literally turned by my teammate. Still came back and finished third at that race too. So Atlanta, a very strong track for me as well. Nashville, Kansas, and then our championship at Chicagoland. Championship race is November 21st. So we're actually going past the NASCAR in season there. Kind of interesting. Along with, I feel like we're going to have an off week here for the podcast series. We've got Darlington, Talladega, Charlotte, and then the playoffs start because we already ran Bristol and we're not running a road course unless for some reason they just implement it out of the blue, because that would give us a week break for the podcast series between the Cup playoffs starting because of the Cup Bristol race. But then after that, same playoffs lineup: Atlanta, Nashville, Kansas, Chicagoland. Kind of the same thing here. Talladega, Charlotte, and Atlanta are going to be my strongest races. If y'all didn't see the podcast series Daytona season opener, that was a good finish in my opinion. Pretty much came down to the last wire. Not quite evenly 3 wide coming to the finish, but we were 3 wide coming to the finish. So look forward to all of that. So that's the schedule for the rest of the season. Darlington's going to be interesting. I don't think anybody in the league has ran Darlington officially. I'm sure people have practiced on the track, but I literally just bought the track, so I've never been on it. So I've got to put some work there. But yeah, excitement. Is there anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. I will say that I've normally really not, usually let you sign off the podcast, which, we'll continue to do. But I do want to sign off in a new way. We've never hidden the fact that we are Christian. I've never hidden the fact that we're believers in Jesus Christ. With the events of the past month, I'm just simply going to sign off like this. Be bold, share Jesus.
I like that. You know what? It can be bold, share Jesus, and ride on.
There you go.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next one.